Okay, there we go. Pick the right microphone. Hello, this is Cindy from Part-Time Permies.
And Michael.
And it looks like we have a few people in the room. Um, started the show with some slides. Hope you guys enjoy trying to take pictures as we go with things here. Um, and we have a bit of news and a bit of updates and all of that stuff. So let people continue to join in. If you guys can just let us know if, oh, hi Lois Ann. Can you let us know how the sound is? That would be great. And we can make sure we're doing all right with that. Brown Coat Homestead, hello, hello. I think I've seen you, but I don't think I've seen you recently. But welcome or welcome back, either way. I might just recognize your name from another chat. I don't remember. But anyway, we have a few things to go through. Here's Noah's Ark. Hello. We're going to go through, of course, we'll get to our Foraged Food Friday, which if you want to follow along on some of that information, there's a link below to our webpage that has a weekly upload on what we're foraging. Thinking of others, hello, welcome from Northern Georgia. Awesome.
Oh, that's down by Rose, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. By Rose at Wholesome Roots is down that direction. Um, thanks for the feedback on the sound and picture. Good. Um, I'm hoping, actually, I think there's a little bit of lag here. There usually is. So if I respond to your comments a few seconds after you've actually commented, I apologize for that, but that's because that's when I see it come through. And hello to Christy, I almost called you Christine. Christy Betts. Got a number of people in today. Awesome. So Mike was just asking me if I'm chilly. I put the jacket on, and
Well, it was like 93 degrees out. We got a little
not
rain.
anymore.
Still like
It's warm in here.
83.
It is warm in here. We got a little rain. That's the key. We got a little rain while I was outside taking care of the chickens. It downpoured. So I'm actually quite wet right now. So yes, thank you. Thinking of others. Awesome. So anyway, so we'll get to our foraged food. We got 2 videos up, so we'll go through those a little bit this week, including one which is a big giveaway. So I'll come back to that. I also figured I'd use this as a tool for identifying a few of the weeds that we have in our garden. I think most of them come from our chicken scratch. So I was actually wanted your input on some of those because the chickens do love them. So when I pull them, I give them to the chickens. But they're going to seed here. No rain there. I know it's been so dry.
Well, we missed most of the rain yesterday.
Yeah.
It mostly
Sprinkled a
went
little.
north, just a little north of us, and then it went south of us. We got just a sprinkle at the end of our farmers market.
We need rain.
And yeah, we've been pretty dry for the last week and a half, 2 weeks.
And if you asked us two
And it's
weeks
been
ago,
hot.
if you asked us 2 weeks ago, we need to dry. So,
Although we have a bunch of places that have been, historically flooded, and they've gone into low-lying areas that typically don't receive water, and people just left them for months. And all of a sudden, there's at least 3 places in our drive area that I see industrial pumps in the last week and a half. They've decided things have dried out. It was worth trying to pump.
Yeah.
And so people are bailing out these lagoons that have been there for like 2 months, and they're never wet.
And one of them is like a parking lot of this trucking company.
They've lost half their parking lot. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's a big lake there. It's never even in the parking lot usually.
Yeah, it touches the edge in the spring and fall, but yeah. So there, we have we have a back run right in that general area of water that goes up by one of the medical clinics, and the city has been pumping water across the road for so many months that they've put in well, they were temporarily pumping. Now they have big metal plates for a pump to pump over across the road.
Yeah.
And they're sort of semi-permanently installed because they didn't pump this area. They were going to lose the medical clinic building.
Yeah. But so yeah, we've had a lot of rain up to 2 weeks ago, and then a dry spell.
Dry and hot.
And the problem with where we're at right now, just a little bit west of Kalamazoo, it's all sand. It's like a big sand dune area. So we need the wet, but it goes straight through.
We need water about every 3 days would be great.
Yeah, a couple times a week. Yeah,
about half an inch of water every 3 days would be ideal for us.
Because it goes straight through our ground into our water table. So.
Is that you singing on your channel? No, we're not singing.
No, Christy. No, this is
Oh.
thing about Christy is that you singing on your channel. That's cool.
Oh. Like, I don't think we're singing. Dishwasher's going.
I don't sing very well, not in public anyway. My chickens got a hornworm today. Good.
Some of our chickens won't eat hornworms,
Some are scared
and some
of them.
will. Don't know. Figure they probably taste bad because they like potatoes and tobacco and tomato and all
the nightshades.
Semi-poisonous things. I'm wondering if, but some love them or will at least eat them and some do not.
You know what's funny is I gave them to the main flock and they acted so scared of it. The rooster went in and killed it when it started moving. But I gave it to a mama of a bunch of chicks and she went and was kind of half going back and forth between attacking it like she was like it was an intruder, and then calling the chicks to it because she was excited it might be food, and kept going back and forth between these different sounds that a hen makes. I didn't catch that on video, but it would have been funny. Next time I catch a hornworm in my garden, I might do that. Oh, your 6-year-old granddaughter did a video without your knowledge. Oh, that's too funny. Yeah. Thinking of others, been watering a lot this year in the South. Yes.
Yeah, we have not been watering very much. I think we've watered 3 times, maybe 4.
Yeah.
Which is pretty low as we're getting into it. Again, with the sand situation, we could end up watering 2 or 3 times a week, and that's just to maintain things from dying. They don't even necessarily look well watered a few hours later.
Yeah.
But we've had very limited watering, which is great.
Yeah, did a video on a hormone from gardening class. Okay, cool.
Hornworms have not been too bad this year. A couple years ago, they were a lot worse.
No, I've only found evidence. Well, I found one, and I gave it to the mama hen. I saw evidence of a second one on potatoes in our garden, but I didn't see any more evidence of that one at all, and I couldn't find it. So I'm hoping it just turned into its moth and left us alone.
Something ate one of our new currants in the front yard, ate virtually every leaf down to the veins.
Although
it
still
seems
got
to be
a couple
hanging
leaves.
in there.
Yeah.
I think it'll grow back.
Yeah. So,
mosquitoes have been the big winner this year. Ticks last year, mosquitoes this year. The mosquitoes have been,
and nothing's working.
Yeah, in droves. You just put up with them or cover up because.
If you guys have any essential oils suggestions, I've been trying to mix a variety of different essential oils for mosquito repellent, and nothing is keeping it away. And I even resorted
We've heard
back
that from other people too.
I resorted back to our 40% DEET on my clothing, and it's still not working.
Well, you can do the 80% or get the 100% little DEET bottles, the camping stuff, and you just put a couple drops on. But
yeah, but it's just I'd rather not. But they like me. They like to swarm me, so that is a big problem with all the rain we had all spring.
Yeah,
and all the standing water. Man, these mosquitoes are going to drive me insane. It's hard to get into the garden because, like, if I put clothes on that have DEET on it, my face shows. They're all over my face. So yeah.
So the other big announcement we made last week was that you've officially reached the no longer eligible to gift zucchini season.
Unless someone else is trying, unless they ask for it or they try to grow their zucchini and had.
We've pulled over 20 and everybody. So we're in that zucchini time where it is impolite to give away zucchini. Because everybody's giving them away. We've cooked a whole lot of them.
Really? Vicks keeps mosquitoes away?
Eating it or spraying, rubbing it, or the vapor rub, or
eating it. I know someone who loves the smell of Vicks. Loves it. We'll put it under, like, on our upper lip. Old roommate. You probably know which one. My very first college roommate. She loved the smell of it. Was addicted to it. Anyway, I can't stand.
I can tolerate it, but I don't like it. I know my mother's allergic to it, and I would prefer not.
Yeah, right. But I mean, I prefer not smelling.
Well, it's mostly it's eucalyptus and a few other. Eucalyptus by itself is okay and very small amounts.
Well, and I put eucalyptus oil in my essential oil mix, and it's still
Maybe
not
you need
doing
to put
anything.
more eucalyptus in.
Maybe, I mean, I might have to play with the amounts a bit.
Until the koala bears show up.
Don't think that's happening. So anyway, we did get a couple videos out this week. The first one that came out was this July garden tour, which is a quick tour what we have growing in our garden, and that was taken on July 1st, but got it out this week. And the crazy thing is that I almost need to do another one because there's so much growth.
We've doubled at least since the beginning of July, which is
so much growth.
Good weather, good heat.
The other thing that we just released this morning, which you should check out if you'd like to win some prizes, is on July 4th we hit 1,000 subscribers. So we got our giveaway video put together, and so anybody who would like to win some prizes, we have a couple. Let me pull them up. Couple prizes we'll be giving away. One is the Vegetable Gardener's Handbook, which is a week by week book on, you put in your average day of last frost and you can calculate in this book when to plant what and how to plan your whole season, which is kind of nice. And then of course we'll give away some pasta as well. So we have those two things, and if you'd like to join and enter into the giveaway, please watch that video. It gives you full instructions, and then we have a drawing that we're going to do next week on our live show. So thank you, Christy, definitely. Okay, so those are our two videos of the week.
So I think we're lagging like 25 seconds behind.
I was just checking on that.
We're lagging a long ways.
A long ways.
So, just so
yeah.
You know, if there's a big gap, we're almost a half a minute.
Yeah.
Lag.
That's all right. We can keep going. So, yeah. Thank you. Thank you to others. Thank you. So yeah, if you're, and actually part of the giveaway, part of the instructions is to share a video. So you can enter up to 5 times by sharing videos. So, and we have over 200 videos that you can pick from, including the giveaway video if you want to spread that news. But anyway, so we will be having a giveaway drawing next week, and then we'll see where that goes. If there's questions about anything on that video, please let me know. I know that there's already been people who are in this room who've entered in. I saw some, I think Lois Ann and Noah's Ark and some comments from all of them, and Valerie as well. But the other thing I wanted to get to a little bit before we get to our herb of the week. Haven't done herb of the week in a while. Foraged Food Friday. I guess this one you could consider herb or general food, but I wanted to go through some of the weeds I have in my garden, which technically I don't really consider them weeds much. It's just what you do with them. So I think by having the chickens in the garden early spring, we would give them treats like scratch at the end of the day a lot of times. So I think some of it seeded itself. So this one, I do know what it is. I think I figured it out, that it's oats.
Well, that's not a herb or a weed.
No, that's oats.
That's a preferred grain.
Yes, it's a preferred grain, but we didn't plan on planting it, so it's kind of growing like a weed in our garden. Although I'm treating it more like chicken treats. So as I pull it, when it goes to seed like this, I pull it and give it to the chickens, and they go nuts over it. The chickens tend to go for the seeds. The geese go for anything green on this plant. So that is one of them. The next one, I'm guessing, someone can tell me if I'm right or wrong on this one. I think it's sorghum. There's 11 grains in my scratch. So
plus we planted the backyard with a chicken forage and a spring forage that had a lot of those items, especially the chicken forage had a lot of those items in there.
Yeah.
It's possible if a little bit of it could have made it in the garden, but it was
that
put behind put behind the garden.
Yeah.
Would have had to been carried by an animal of sorts, probably.
Yeah, so I'm thinking this might be coming from our scratch, which actually might make me happy because I can plant my scratch. I could use that as like a chicken forage
It's
garden.
it might be a lot cheaper than what we
buying it.
used last year.
So I believe that's sorghum. I'm not sure. The actual leaves and plant look a lot like a corn, and then it has this different head on it. The next one, if you guys know, let me know. Next one, I believe, is also from the chicken scratch, but I want to say it might be amaranth.
I don't know. I see amaranth usually has a red leaf,
but
green leaf, but there are a couple of varieties.
There's a lot. There's like 100 of varieties.
So I'm not sure about that one.
This one, you know, when I looked up, okay, pigweed.
There's also millet, and I don't think there's any quinoa in that blend, and quinoa is a little picky growing. It could be millet though, but millet is a
I don't know what millet looks like.
It's extremely small white seed. It's just slightly bigger than amaranth.
Yeah. So this one, well, there's also a weed called pigweed in the area that is an amaranth, that is a completely green amaranth, and that's what this kind of reminds me of, but I'm not 100% sure. So if you guys, any of you guys know what this one is, let me know for sure. That would be great. There's another one that sprouted that seems to have come from that scratch too, I believe, and it's got a really pretty small flower. Those flowers are maybe the diameter of a dime. It has a bunch of these little flowers on it, and then the seeds or the seed pods or whatnot are very round and small as well. So that's another one I'm still trying to figure out maybe what that is.
There's some field peas, but those
There's some
vines.
peas, yeah. These are definitely tall, and I haven't seen this flower before in our garden, which is why I think it's part of our chicken scratch that's coming up, and it's all over right now. So
in our feed place, he does his own blending, so it changes a little based upon pricing and availability, but he's fairly selective. It's not a set mix like a lot of the big commercial, like a TSC blend.
That one's not borage. I do know that.
We have borage, yeah.
Borage has a little bit bigger flower, and I did plant some borage. This one has really long, skinny leaves, and it's a fairly tall, skinny plant as well. Well, and it's not even very long leaves, just, you know, a couple inches or whatnot, but really skinny, like wispy leaves. And then the borage has these big fuzzy leaves, and I have that in the garden.
Yeah, borage is very fuzzy.
Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure what that one is. And there is one other weed that I know is probably not from our scratch, but we get a lot of. And I probably could look it up, and I think I figured this one out before, but I can't remember what this one is either. And this one's not borage either. Another blue flower or purpley flower. It's probably not the best picture for identification. It's more for pretty. But that is another one I have all over my garden, which I like because it's pretty. Don't know if it's edible or not, and that is a wild one. So that one also grows on our patio in the shade a bit. So it's fairly tolerant to growing wherever there's disturbed soil.
Oh, is that the big green leaf stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a little
That's
flower.
Something, it shows up wherever you have fresh dirt.
Got a pretty little flower, though.
I don't know what it is.
So, yeah, if any of you guys know what these are, please let us know in the comments, and we can try to figure that out. But otherwise, I do have some friends who are good at identifying plants who might actually give comments on these later in the after show, whatever you want to call it.
Because only like 20% of you watch it live, and so that means there's
a good amount.
75-80% that will see this some other time in the next week-ish.
Yeah, so including our friend down the road who knows a lot about a lot of plants, PJ.
Oh, does he watch sometimes?
He does, and he's commented afterwards on things.
He really knows. Yeah. He has a very good knowledge.
Yeah.
And he especially knows the native. We know 4 people in the area that really know the native plants.
Yeah.
Nabi and Louie. Louie knows more than almost anybody for the
created
for
books.
The native things that just have been around here in the last like 70 years.
Well, he at one point he was trying to identify every flower that's on his farm.
300 plus acres. So.
Yeah, and he took pictures of all of them. He also did that for I think butterflies and dragonflies
and a variety of other
So he has these books and books of like 3x5 printed pictures with labels of what each flower is. And he's got this whole collection of books, which is, I'd love to have just as a reference. It's probably like the best wildflower guide of Southwest Michigan
Yeah,
out
somebody
there.
should scan them, or hopefully he's going to donate
Someone should
them.
publish that.
Probably the conservation agency that he's donated a lot of his
Yeah.
land. Hopefully somebody's going to take possession of that at some point in the future, so it doesn't get lost, because it's really handwork and old style collection.
Yeah.
And he did it for himself, not really for any other reason.
No, but it is an amazing collection of pictures and really pretty nice pictures with,
Mhm.
you know, I don't know what type of camera he was. I'm guessing he just took them to the drugstore and got
I'm
them.
sure that's, yep,
Yeah,
whatever was
you know,
current
drop
for
off
the
the
time.
film.
A lot of these books
Yeah.
are fairly and been around for quite a while, so.
So
Yeah.
anyway, so cool stuff. It would be nice to get a little video flip through of those, maybe at one of our foraging if they have the books out. We forage with Nobby, who works for Louis at that farm. So
Well, you can set up a still camera on just a simple background and take still shots of each of the pages.
that'd be a lot of pages.
Well, it wouldn't be that hard on a digital camera.
True.
I mean,
True. You'd
and
have to
then you
take time
could
to do
preserve,
it.
you could preserve somewhat of a simple record of them,
Yeah,
a secondary
if
record.
he's willing to share it. But yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, so those are some of the things in our garden that most of them the chickens like to eat. So basically, any of the weeds in our garden, what we're really using them for are, and I should make a video on it. What do we use our weeds for? We use them for mulch. We use
Mulch
them,
and manure mix.
yeah,
You know, for
chicken feed.
Yep.
And I had thought of a third one, but I'm trying to remember what it is now.
irritation of your legs and arms.
Not so much, no, but you know, on one hand, it does give a nice ground
I
cover.
use it too for medicinal.
Yeah, eating them, of course.
Yeah,
We
with
eat
some
the
of 'em you
weeds.
can eat them. Yep.
There's only one weed I really don't like having in the garden, and it's a wild nightshade that drives me nuts with
Very
thorns on
thorny.
it.
Well, you don't like poison ivy in there either.
No, I don't like that,
Yeah.
but I haven't really had that in the
We've
garden.
been pretty good. Yeah, it's been really not been an issue in the last, I think, the first year.
And the only reason why I don't like poison ivy is because I don't like have to worry about pulling it all the time, so you don't get itchy.
You don't want to eat it either.
No, you don't want to eat it, unless you're Daryl Patton.
Yeah.
And anyway, oh, Daryl Patton was in Michigan a couple weeks ago. I wish we got to see him.
Yeah, way too busy.
Yeah, but he comes to Michigan fairly regularly for foraging talks and such. I think up in Saginaw. Is it Saginaw?
No.
No, that's the wrong side. It was on this side of the state. I forget.
Yeah, if I looked at the map, I could
tell
you where he goes. He's got a bunch of old friends that he likes to get together. I think they bring him out, but I think he's been doing it so long he just likes to get together with them.
And for those of you guys who don't know who Daryl Patton is, he will be going to the Homesteaders of America conference again this fall. He was there last fall and did a talk as well as like a 20-minute guided forage on that property. And I was able to get permission to videotape that forage and release that. So I do have that back in one of my October videos from the Homesteaders.
Anybody who wants to spend a good weekend that's not extremely expensive and go down there, there's probably a few tickets left.
Yeah. And it's a 2-day conference.
2-day conference. There's some hotels, some camping. You know, basically getting yourself down there and housing and feeding yourself is probably the major expense. The tickets
down there
are not
or up there is all relative.
Well, that's true. Well, for us, it's moving in the downward south direction.
Southeast direction.
Yeah. So it's, but it's a pretty good weekend, and I highly encourage anybody that has the time, put away.
Which town is it in this year? I forget now.
They moved it, but
yeah.
Put away just a little bit of money and make a good weekend out of it. You'll meet a whole lot of people with a whole lot of very different interests and a whole lot of similar interests.
Yeah.
But they're all fairly well connected to some form of nature or preservation or cooking or living and such.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. So yes, we are going
Yes,
again this year.
We bought our tickets and I think we made our reservation.
Yep.
Early.
And we'll probably drive down.
I know a lot of people are camping so they can hang out. We're going to get a hotel room just because camping sounded good, but we would be primitive camping with a tent. And I felt like we needed to be, because we're driving a good ways on each end, I figured we needed to be rested and relaxed, and so that we could enjoy the conference instead of dealing with bathing and eating and watering and sleeping and bugs, and that would just not be spending our time the best way for a shorter weekend.
So we're going down there and we're staying at one of the host hotels close by. And anybody in the room going down this year? Have you guys looked into
Pratt's
it?
are going, but they're not in the room tonight.
I don't think so. Yeah, Pratt Family Homestead's
There's a lot of Michigan people we heard are going.
That 1870s
They're
homestead.
going.
Well, she's going. I'm not sure if
I think he is not.
I think he has to work.
Yeah.
So we have a number of Michigan people headed that direction. And yeah, another thing we should announce that we're going to in 2 weeks.
We have no official capacity. We are paid guests of the. We are not participating in any of the.
What are you talking about?
For
Homesteaders of America. Yes, we're not talking or giving talks at the Homesteaders of America. We're just going to participate in watching all the talks and probably networking some. But in 2 weeks, because that Homesteaders of America is in October, so in 2 weeks, the Pratts are hosting the Michigan YouTube Homestead Hootenanny, which we will be at as well. And that we are camping at because it's being hosted at a campground. And
that's just a one afternoon, evening, overnighter.
Yes. Some people are staying Friday night and Saturday night. The big get together is on Saturday afternoon, like noon till 10, until they kick people out who are not camping. So we're gonna go to that.
No charge on that one. Just get yourself there and bring something smallish to pass,
potluck.
And that's good enough.
Yeah. So you guys should come to the Hootenanny, which is becoming an annual event around here. So if you're in driving distance, definitely should check that out as well. And there's going to be a lot of people there, including Holler Homestead. And Holler Homestead is doing a drive across the U.S. right now. They sold their house in California, I want to say, and they are actually looking for a place to settle down to homestead. And they're going state by state, kind of doing the road style state by state, and they're planning on being at the Hootenanny in Michigan, at the Hootenanny in time. And I think last I saw, I believe they were probably in Minnesota, so they're not too far away. So they're just driving across the U.S., at least the 48. I don't think they were doing Alaska and Hawaii. So a lot of people are coming. Anybody in the room going to the Hootenanny? Question. So, and of course that'll take a few seconds to get through because there's a delay. So Valerie's going.
We don't have as much of a delay.
Oh, not as much as earlier.
Gotten a lot better.
Yeah. So Valerie D's going to Hootenanny. Awesome. Anybody else planning on going to Finite World, or anybody else in the Michigan area headed that Noah's Ark? Are you going? And Lois Ann, I think you were there last year, weren't you? So anyway, we'll see if anyone else. The other thing that that we need to cover today, if I'm switching topics because I don't see any more comments coming through. The other topic is our Foraged Food Friday. So I will actually open the web page where I have this. Sorry, I didn't do that ahead of time. But I have a blog where I basically upload one forage thing every week. So if you go underneath in the description down below, you will see a link to that web page and you can follow along with us. But our Foraged Food Friday this week is black raspberry because we have it definitely in abundance right now, and we're actually coming to the end of.
Yeah, it ran pretty fast because it's a fast crop anyways, but having the dry heat, they went real fast.
We got a couple weeks out of them, although we didn't get out as much. And they're still on the bush. I mean, they're still finishing off. There's some that are about past due. But most people know this one as a very tasty treat. And definitely a lot of people recognize them. Some people call them black cats. Some people mistake these for blackberries. They are not blackberries. Blackberries have a solid core, and black raspberries have a hollow core, which is why some people call them black caps. Um, and actually, I do have a video from last year that goes over some of the differences between raspberries and dewberries and strawberries, the wild ones, and then poison ivy, because all of those can have leaves of 3. So if you want to check out the leaves of 3 video, that kind of tells you the differences between those plants. So the whole leaves of 3 let it be doesn't always work. But all of these plants with this compound fruit in this area at least are edible. All these berries with these multiple little segments in them, and strawberries actually do fit into that category as well with multiple segments. It doesn't show up as much.
That's
when
true.
you look
And
at them.
all of them that have the seeds on the outside and not on the inside are, I don't know anything.
Yeah, well, these don't have the seeds on the outside. On this one, they're on the inside.
Well, they're kind of on the inside, but they're not a single.
No, it's really multiple fruits all together. So that black raspberries, definitely very sweet. You could do a lot with the berries themselves. You can also pick the new growth leaves and make tea out of those. So there are people who will do that. If you, let me pull up my next picture here. If you look at black raspberry canes, there's a 2nd-year cane and a 1st-year cane. And the 1st-year cane tends to stand taller, has a green cane to it, like a light green color to it, and will not have berries on it the 1st year. The 2nd-year cane, which in this picture is down lower, has all the berries on it. And one thing I learned you could do from permaculture class is I learned that you can cut the cane halfway up, and next year, the 1st-year cane halfway up, and next year you will get a branching cane with even more fruit on that plant.
Well, that's why you typically cane them back, whether you're trying to restrict them from overgrowing an area, but also just at the end you cane them back to assist the growth and picking.
Yeah. So, oh no, Christy, you're having YouTube dropping issues. Oh no, I hope it's not our connection issue either. Our connection went out earlier,
I think we're okay.
It looks like we're okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Actually, we can check it there. Yeah, no, our stream is in the green, so sorry about that. But yeah, so these canes, if you cut them back, like this is actually right next to our bedroom in our house, so it has a nice warm window. But these will often actually grow on the edges of woods. It seems to be their favorite place where they get part shade, part sun for part of the day. On the southern edge especially, but really I've even seen them on the north edges of woods as well.
They'll show up anywhere. Anywhere they can get a little bit of light.
Yeah, so so these grow all up and down our edge of our woods here, right off our yard. So which is nice, which is why we'll get a quart at a time going out foraging, or 2 if we have 2 of us going. The leaves on this, I mentioned it can be used for tea. Some people use it for medicinal, traditional medicines. So mainly most people think of it for women, but because it helps with menstrual cramps, and a lot of people use it for natural childbirth late in pregnancy and postpartum to help with reduce some of the pain and stuff. It has been used to treat diarrhea as well, so has the root. Some people will dig up the root and dry that and use that in tea as well. But the leaves are also high in a lot of vitamins and minerals, so those are the primary things. Culinarily, there's, of course, a lot of things you could use this for. Toppings for just about everything: cereals, yogurts, ice cream, pancakes. We had it on pancakes yesterday. You use it in muffins, other baked goods, made into syrup, jams, jellies, pies. Any other culinary things?
You can do a lot with it.
Anything for sweet tart?
Yeah, and mostly you add sugar to it because they're sweet, but they're not. Especially the black raspberries are not always crazy sweet, but the nice acidity and the flavor will penetrate through when you add either sugar or vinegar or both.
So yeah, we actually were able, just in 2 days of, well, my harvesting, I think I got a quart and a half or so of raspberries.
We'll probably save them. Dewberries are just beginning,
Yeah.
and we'll probably combine them all into a blackberry jam with both dewberries and the black raspberries.
Yeah. Oh no, you've been having thunder. Yeah, we were having some pop-up thunderstorms here. Um, but yeah, so what we'll do is we'll collect all these, and through the season we'll stick them in the freezer because you otherwise won't last until you have all of them. We bag them up, put them in the freezer, and then get through dewberry season, bagging those up, and we have a heck of a lot of dewberries in our back.
Yeah, we didn't make any jam last year. We didn't only made strawberries, so we're due to make more.
Yeah.
Blackberry, we're missing that. I actually have a bunch of cherries I need to get made into jam quickly. Bought those, I guess, last Tuesday.
Yeah.
Been sitting in the refrigerator and they're pitted, so I need to get those used before they turn into wine instead of jam.
Hey, cherry wine.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of cherry wine.
I don't know. Cherry seems to go.
All the fruit wines, I find them a little off balance compared to grape wine. They're okay when they're blended, but I think it makes better jam.
Yeah. So anyway, we will be probably making jam with those once we get enough and once we find the time to do it.
I think that's the plan for most of them.
Yeah. So what we'll do, we'll probably, it's probably not a bad idea. There's a lot of jams and jellies videos out there, but maybe we'll do one on our wild berry
Last
jams.
time I did this batch, 2 years ago, I was in a little bit of a hurry and I did not run them through a food mill or squeeze them through a cheesecloth to remove a lot of the seeds. So that batch was quite seedy, a little too much. I think jam should have seeds in it. I mean, really, jelly is strained of skins and seeds and whole fruit.
That's true.
But I think that you should have a reasonable amount of fruit, if not, chunks and seeds. Otherwise, it just doesn't appear like a fresh jam, homestyle jam. But I do think for especially raspberries, straining out or using a food mill to take out about half of them because they're small enough, a lot will go through. So when I make a fruit coulis or a fruit like sauce for closing out all the going about ready to go bad soft fruit in like a restaurant, I will strain about half of them. Again, a lot of times it bothers people's tongue or their teeth and dental work, but I think leaving about half of them in there is a nice balance to make it seem like you really did the real fresh thing without making it overbearing on seeds.
Yeah. So Valerie, yes, absolutely. We do freeze ours until we're ready to make our jam.
Some people make freezer jams. I'm not a huge fan of freezer jams. I think you get a slightly better jam making a cooked jam. So and then you can, of course, then you can can it and you can
not take
stick it on the shelf and you're good. So it takes up a lot less room in key places that are refrigerated. So we'll do a cooked jam. I think it brings out the pectins and just does a lot of nice things.
And the other thing is about freezing them. With these berries, we almost have to freeze them because we cannot make jam every time we harvest them, and they don't last as long in the refrigerator. They will start molding fairly quickly.
Yeah, berries mold really quick.
So we really need to go from harvest to freezer until we have enough to make jam, a big batch all at once. And since we are really going through 2 seasons, because we really do a wild berry jam, we definitely have to freeze them until we get it.
I haven't tried it yet either. I usually don't. The brandy cherries are pretty much ready to use, but I like to let them sit for about 6 months.
Yeah.
I think that just mellows out the flavors, and it definitely doesn't hurt it. It makes it better, I think. We have 1 jar left from 2 years ago, so I just made 10 pounds. We usually give away a little bit of it, but I'm careful giving those away because they're more expensive, and we just don't make a lot of them. We don't eat them that fast, but so I made 10 pounds, gave away 1 already to a friend.
Yeah.
And I kind of leave them for special friends, and they do something special for us, and it's the right time. You might get one of those, but that's probably our lowest level of give outs is our brandy cherries.
It's sometimes Christmas present to family.
Yeah, something. If we have enough other jams, it's a lot easier to run downstairs for a gift for somebody and grab 1 or 2 jams, and because we just have more of them. So
so we'll get on our canning here. That's like the main thing we can. We don't do a lot of other canning.
I haven't. Mostly it's time wise. I'm not a huge fan of the quality of canning. We talked about. I would prefer to freeze and deep freeze without a defrost cycle and like a chest freezer. holds things really nice. And if I'm concerned about a long hold, I will put in I'll vacuum seal it in like a food saver. But yeah, canning wise, I mean, salsas work pretty good. Green beans aren't bad. Tomatoes are great because you need to cook them anyways. We haven't done a lot of tomatoes. I tend to make the sauce all the way out and then can that, or free. A lot of times I just freeze that too.
But yeah, and a lot of times we'll do the same thing with our tomatoes if we
Fruit
don't
works
have time.
great. I mean, you can do hot pickles, although I prefer a cold pickle.
But as far as tomatoes go, or sometimes other vegetables, we don't have time to go and can them right away, and their season tends to go sometimes all the way up to our frost. We'll still be getting tomatoes off the bean.
That frost, of course.
So we'll just, as we pull them, we'll put them in bags and freeze them, and then we'll make the sauce when we have the time later.
Yeah, and I think we talked about. I think a lot of people love canning because it is shelf stable and no refrigeration, which is great. So
if you lose power, you don't.
So
lose
you
food.
have a lot of room in your basement or wherever pantry you can really stack it up. But I think the energy into canning, both the physical and the actual heat energy, is pretty intensive. So I would rather stick things in quart, like semi-disposable restaurant-style quart containers, or into Ziploc bags. The nice thing about quart containers are you can reuse them a number of times. The Ziploc bags are kind of expensive. End up throwing them out, but I do think that freezing a lot of things, to me, and chest freezers run very efficiently. You know that a medium to large chest freezer is like $30 or $40 of energy a year. So because you don't open it much, and if you keep it fairly full, it's a very efficient way. So you don't have long-term energy loss, power loss. So we just end up putting more things due to time and whatever else. Just took tomato soup out of the canner. Nice. Yeah, I like tomato soup. I make a pretty good tomato soup. It's a real nice, easy one.
Also, should do a video on that.
Yeah.
We haven't done a cooking video in a while.
No, we haven't done an official cooking video. I did the local farm market healthy cooking demonstration this weekend, actually. Key item was green beans and fresh pulled garlic, so I did a...
That looked good. I didn't get a chance to try it.
I thought you were going to grab one.
I was, but then I had to go, so...
We did a mazabaru chili paste.
Spell that.
Mazavaroo, I think.
Okay, how it sounds.
I assume that's the way it's pronounced. Who knows? It is from off the eastern coast of Africa, the island of what is it?
Off the coast.
Mauritius, the island of Mauritius.
Okay.
That's what it is. So, influences of Africa, India, Asia, and of course, tropical abundance. So it has lemon zest and whole lemons, ginger, hot peppers like Thai peppers or other hot peppers. Sometimes, of course, garlic, and sometimes onion, sometimes vinegar. And it's either cooked down into a paste and canned, or it's sort of pickled with extra vinegar. I made it fresh, and then just sauteed it in with green beans, fresh green beans, and more fresh garlic. And I actually I used coconut oil on it, so we were running a vegan.
Coconut oil or coconut milk?
Coconut oil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a big thing, coconut oil. We used virgin coconut oil, so we had a zero allergen, zero top 8 common allergen vegan item. Whenever I cook at the farmer's market, typically I cook vegetarian, vegan, just trying to hit all the areas so that everybody can eat it unless they have a very specific allergy. We took the heat down on it because it's typically a fiery hot paste for marinating shrimp, chicken.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I mean, we played with it on some chicken a little bit. I made another batch. I kind of put a little on the end of some salmon, which worked nice. I didn't really marinate it. I just finished it.
Yeah.
And then this, I actually touched it with a little coconut milk at the end to bring it all together. And again, take some of the heat out of it. I think it actually comes out very much like a Thai Malaysian because of the citrus, ginger, and coconut milk. So that was the healthy cooking demo. There's a grant to the farmers market for area chefs that we rotationally through the season present a in-season item. We buy all of our key items from the farmers market on this small grant, and then we prepare it and we cook it all in a period.
And you give away the recipes.
Yep, and then we give away recipes and tastings for about 200 some people, and it's all free.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's a nice way because what we found is we want to promote healthy seasonal cooking and no, but people look at all these things in the market and either say I'm bored of doing green beans boiled or with garlic, or they're like I see all these wonderful things I have no idea how to cook
Yeah,
them,
right.
and then the farmers are saying I can't sell the stuff, but I people said I should grow it,
Yeah.
and so we're trying to serve that purpose of being food professionals and helping everybody have great ideas and eat really well in season.
Yep.
So yeah.
Absolutely. Do they own the recipe after you do that, or
I guess they do. I don't.
probably?
It's not that. It's. I don't have any sign off on that item. Some things it's very clear when I do work that the recipes are owned, so you're always very careful that you develop something that you're willing to not have control over it or
Yeah.
have lose it. But I guess they technically may.
Yeah.
But this is a fairly informal sharing of
Yeah.
things. So
Yeah. So I was just thinking it, if people enjoy things like that, we're going to be coming into bean season here real soon
yeah.
because we planted a
Yeah, our
ton
beans
of
are
beans.
not far off. We're a little behind, but we're just a week
There's
or
little
so
baby
out.
beans on them. In
Yep.
fact, if we look close, we might actually start finding them.
Yeah,
But
peas just finished. They burned out real quick. They were going great, and everybody burned out. In fact, I was told fresh garlic, the pulled green, well, it's not green garlic, but the uncured garlic, green beans or peas. And I wrote back to the farm manager. It was supposed to be apricots, but we just barely saw the first apricots this week. It was too early.
yeah,
I wrote back to the farm manager. I'm not doing peas. Peas burned out.
yeah, they're
Because
done.
somebody else was telling me the week before they lost them before we did. I said I'm not going to promote peas because there's very very few left in the market. And you're not going to see them next week.
Yeah.
So we're definitely doing beans because they just started that really this week to go to market.
Yeah, actually, our peas and my gardener peas, which I will definitely go back to, did really, really well. They were the biggest pea plants, tallest pea plants I think I've ever grown. They outgrew my trellis by like twice the size or more. So those peas, I think it was the mammoth snow peas, and then there was also a snap pea. I'd have to look up the
I do
type.
think we need to grow a lot more peas because
Yeah.
we didn't end up getting. We ate a good number of them, which was just about right for a small amount of
Yeah.
eating, but we had nothing reserved that
Extra,
we were
no.
able to freeze. And
No.
peas are in pod blanched, they freeze not bad, but obviously if you can shell them, they freeze really, really well. Key with peas and corn, as soon as you pick them, they start going from nice sugar to starch. And so the faster you can get them either blanched, cooked, or in the freezer, the better for a sweet, fresh item. If
Yeah.
you're drying them to make pea soup or something, that doesn't matter.
But yeah, I let some dry on the vine so we could pull those for using for seeds. Maybe I'll bring them to Hootenanny. There's a seed exchange at Hootenanny that I'm in charge of. So I'll get that set up in the next.
We do videos at the cooking market? Not typically, but
I did one video.
You
where
did,
you
yeah.
were
Last time,
cooking.
yeah, I did it twice last year. This was kind of I helped organize for one of the 4 groups, trying to get the chefs from one of our chef groups to do a couple of different events. Nobody was available, so I jumped out of my market stall and handed that over.
And I was still working the stall, so it's not like
and
I
yeah,
could
then
have
I
done
jumped
the
over to
video.
go do the demo for the morning. The Kalamazoo Farmers Market, or PFC, People's Food Co-op, which manages it, does post the recipes on their website. They have they hand out little cards, but they're getting more organized this year than even previously. So they are thinking about putting together a cookbook
Do you know the
in
website?
the coming year. It's got to be probably PFC Markets, I'm going to guess.
I'm going to look it up and see if I could get the website.
People's Food Co-op is a cooperative, member-owned food co-op, just as it sounds. But they happen to be the market managers for the last quite a few years.
PFCmarkets.com?
Yeah, and they so they have the contract with the city to manage it and they're part of the Michigan Market Association or something too. So.
I'm trying to see. I'm looking on it.
There's
right
a lot
now.
of stuff. I guess I was the featured chef company something this month. Yeah. I was just told I can't find the post. I don't know if it was their newsletter. I don't even know where it is. They just mention it in passing. So I thank them, but I can't find it.
Is there a specific part of this webpage?
I've never looked it up. You'd have to. Blogs. Taste of the Market.
Taste of the Market might be.
That might be the event.
Yeah. That's talking about the event. I'm not sure. The recipes are on the blog.
Oh,
That's where
maybe
they
that's
are.
what. Maybe the blog is what the feature is, and
Yeah.
I have not paid attention to the blog. That
Should
might.
probably pay attention to back to blog.
So
Yeah.
it cooks through the seasons. Funny thing is, they assign a choice of items every week to work with as the primary, but they've
Yeah.
been so off almost the whole year, running behind, that they've had to make quick adjustments from because they based them off of last year's rotationals.
And I still can't figure out where your recipe is, which is what I was going to pull.
Recipes down there, maybe.
Maybe.
Try that.
Gonna pull it to
I don't know if it's
link it.
posted yet. Vegetable quesadilla, July 13th. So that would have been the Tuesday market?
No, today's the 15th. That's the date they posted it.
Okay, so that was probably the Tuesday, the small market, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So it's probably on the way. I don't know. Anyway, if you're looking for some local seasonal stuff, that's just one of our many sources. I'm sure your farmers market may have something similar. It's part of the Food Navigator program that does a grant for healthy food access and does a whole bunch of different things with kids and
Yeah.
with such. So this comes to a grant to the market. It's just a small grant, but and then we donate our time to assist as area chefs.
So here I'm going to link the blog for our markets, and they have a bunch of recipes from the previous ones. It looks like they haven't uploaded the recipe
sure
from yours from this weekend, from yesterday basically. But that should be coming up on that soon. So
And I'm
if
sure
you're
that
looking
any
back,
of you that have a local market of medium to larger size probably has all kinds of similar programs. If it's just an area market, it may be very informal, but
yeah,
if you cruise around the country in the larger, city markets, you'll find a lot of good resources like this. So
yeah,
we do have a lot of grant money that's out through many, many resources on food access. So local food, healthy cooking, improving health or not reducing the quality of our health by what we eat. Children, seniors, urban, rural, limited resources are all heavily grant funded right now in our area, and there's a lot of education going towards that. I'm small parts get to play into some of those things as volunteer. So
Oh, there was one other thing that happened this week that's not really a part of our, web page and YouTube channel, but yeah, some exciting news about the business.
oh yeah, we got our kitchen certified this week.
Yes.
So that's
Our new kitchen, not our like upstairs home kitchen. It's
yeah, I've been building a kitchen, as many of you know, for 6, 7, almost 8 months.
Yep.
Started a little before Christmas with the beginning of it. Took a little longer than we had hoped, but the end result is very nice.
Yeah.
And very functional, and we did it efficiently. The end was that I got full approvals for my commercial kitchen, so I now operate a unrestricted commercial kitchen.
Yep.
Which is going to help further some of my commercial business activities and reach out and do some new projects and new products that I couldn't do. Previously, I was using that general space as my production.
Under cottage
but
law.
I had to label everything cottage law as a non-inspected kitchen. So it really doesn't change my process and what I do much.
Night, Losan.
But I now have officially a full commercial kitchen. So
yeah. So and eventually you'll be doing some fresh pastas.
I think we'll be doing fresh pastas pretty soon, a few weeks. And then I got a whole bunch of other things to roll out based upon logistics and just getting, part of it, we need to make sure we get our processes to flow properly. Some of them I need sign-offs on them, but most of it, it's about being able to do it consistently and regularly with high quality and not having hiccups because we have very limited labor. And that's part of taking on too many.
He's the labor. I'm part-time.
Yeah, and taking on too many things where I can't service. Once I start up a line, I need to be able to service that line. Yeah. We are able to do shipping. We casually could do shipping before, but we can do full-on internet sales, which we need to get that web page up. Yeah. That's another thing that's, if that kind of takes off, is going to be nice, but a little bit time consuming. So I think Cindy gets to possibly be the shipping and mailing manager, possibly. but we are excited that we haven't.
I'm already a webpage designer.
Yeah, so you
apparently.
can be in charge
I need to update the webpage.
internet sales.
Yeah.
So pricing slightly different on that because it's covering shipping. But if anybody really wants something, more than happy to get it out to you and try and do it at a fair price. So.
Yeah. And I'm just going to give you guys our current link once it pulls up here.
We do work with some local and seasonal, work with some local farms. Part of my licensing and being able to do some fresh products and possibly some prepared food in not too long is to try and focus on doing mostly seasonal and fresh, directed, working with farms where I can. Can't do any meat related things for the most part because I'm not a USDA facility.
That is our West Michigan Pasta and Provisions webpage. And then, oh, hi, Aim. Hi. Thanks for all the comments today on our competition, our giveaway video competition. It's not a competition. Our drawing.
Yeah, we haven't seen Aim High for a few weeks. I'm sure busy with the summer and family and everything going on.
So yeah, so be on the lookout because that right now we're not set for internet sales, but that
it's not officially turned on. But yeah, just email us and we can easily. We have everything on that, I think, listed as available.
Yeah.
And we can update and do what we need to do if it's something you are interested in immediately. But it's just an opportunity out there.
Yeah. So if you're ever interested in ordering pasta, you can check it out on the webpage there, and we will be updating that soon. And we also put recipes on there.
Yeah, we're getting ready to add some more.
And we have a few videos that we did on making pasta on this back last fall, I want to say, on our part-time Permies. So I'll probably be embedding some of those videos on that webpage as well, just to add to the recipes as videos. So,
and the flour is organic. So that's all of our semolina flour, unless we're working with some specialty ingredients. They may or may not be organic. Eggs are not organic in our few egg pastas, but they are good quality eggs.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And maybe we can get.
A friend of mine made your pasta. Really? How did your friend?
She's not that far from us.
I know she's not far. It's interesting that it's made it in that direction.
Almost said, I ate famous person's pasta. That was great. That's too funny.
Well, I'm glad it made it your direction. We've been getting really, really good feedback, and it has been. We have a lot of out of towners. I got to tell you the truth. We get more out of town sales and more excitement from out of town people that are from
Minnesota,
Milwaukee, Chicago, on and on and on, coming into the market and going, I can't believe you have this.
Yeah.
I can't believe the prices are so good.
Yes.
It's sort of that hometown thing. So.
Yes, we are going to have a stand at Hootenanny.
Yeah, so that's what I got to work market till 2:00.
I'll be there at the beginning.
So I don't know if you're going to bring any with you. You got to bring all the camping and water and food and all the rest.
I got to bring everything.
So we got to get set up for that. Maybe you'll bring a box. I am going to bring. So I'm coming right from market, so I won't get there till 3:30 probably.
Yeah.
And I'll be tired because I got up at 5 in the morning. But I am going to basically bring whatever remains and probably try and stock extra, and I'll just set up because there are vendors allowed through Mike. He's allowed a bunch of people to participate at very low cost.
I think signage has to be minimal.
Yeah, and by the way, so if any of you do a craft or an art or anything that you're regularly involved in or temporarily, ask Mike if you're going.
Yep.
It's a super low fee.
I think it's like 35 or something.
30 or 10 or
no,
it was I don't know, whatever it was. And I think there's room for 10 vendors.
Yeah.
So I'll show up. I'll put up our tent. It's really casual, really laid back. We'll probably cook some pasta. Yep. Hopefully get a car, bring our burner, and as part of the potluck, probably just cook some fresh pasta with some, I don't know, we've got chickens or
I don't want to do language.
I gotta go find. I gotta find them, and it's not gonna be so local.
No, I'm joking because that's a Pratt joke.
So we will have some pasta available for sale. I'm gonna put it at the best possible pricing. We're not trying to go out of town and clean up the house. We're just making it available, and we'll put it out at really good pricing. So just as a benefit for anybody who'd like it. Yep.
Yep.
And we don't have to deal with shipping that way. So.
Yeah. So we will be there. Aim higher.
And we're going to give away some pasta. Probably as a giveaway, we'll give away a bunch of bags.
Hi, and Valerie, are you guys going to Hootenanny? Or anyone else who joined in since we talked about it earlier? It's in 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
And you know, when I watched Pratt's a couple weeks ago, they said there were still campsites available if you wanted to stay the night too.
They said that in the general campground, not
Well, there was one near them,
near them. Yeah.
but otherwise in the general campground. I'm not sure if they're full
The
at
big
this
freak
point.
out this week is that the tent sites, or some of them, do not have water hookups directly on the site, but there are water spigots very close by, which is actually the normal for most
Yeah.
camps. I am, usually if you have a camper, you have a water hookup on site.
Yeah.
But as far as being a tent camper, I don't necessarily expect to have water at my
Oh, no.
site as long as it's.
Although I think our site is in the, like, next to the
Yeah.
public water.
So the only point is bring some water vessels.
Yes.
If you have a preference of drinking some special water, bring that. But otherwise, just bring a potable water carrying device to get whatever water you need for you and your family.
So Amy is going to be on her way to
Oh,
Florida
all right.
that week.
Well, it's going to be
Darn.
darn hot and muggy down there.
Oh gosh. Yeah, right. Well, it'll probably be hot and muggy up here.
Probably.
It is Michigan. So anyway, Valerie's going. Yay.
Good.
Good. Anyone else going? Finite World, are you going?
I think they said they were going previously.
Was that? Okay, someone said they were going earlier. I can't remember who said that. And Lois Ann and all them. So Lois Ann was there last year. But anyway, I can't wait for Hootenanny. That'll be a really fun get together. So, and we'll do a video on that. I'm sure we'll probably do like a, maybe even go live there, and do
Probably.
like introduction to who
Go
all
live
came.
of everybody being live.
Yeah, I know. Last time it was everybody was going live. I just did a non-live video last year, but yeah. Anyway, so that'll be a lot of fun. Sister is getting married, so yeah,
Okay.
you have to kind of go to that.
Yep. Finite's in Indy. Okay.
Okay.
Indianapolis is a good town.
Yeah,
There's a lot of good things, fun things to do there.
Yeah, I used to go. Well, I went there for skating camp one summer, figure skating, growing up, but it was right downtown, and that was a lot of fun. Anyway, I think we gone through all of our topics. I'm trying to see if I missed anything comments wise, but
yeah. Anything else? Questions, comments, other conversations?
And don't forget to watch our most recent video that we released this morning on the giveaway, the big giveaway, because we hit 1,000 subscribers.
Gardening book and pasta packages giveaway.
Yep. So our prizes. I'll bring up that picture one more time. We'll be doing the garden book, which is a handbook week by week based on your input. You input the average day last frost, and you figure out when you should be starting things week by week and through the whole year, which is kind of cool. And the pasta, of course, we have to give away some pasta.
It'll probably be more in one bag, because the simple fact of shipping, the smallest box holds 2 or I think it's 3 quite nicely.
Yeah.
And so just in the cost of shipping, I might as well stick in the extra bags.
Thanks, Finite World.
Because one is silly. So.
Yeah, and we will definitely have the drawing next weekend on our live show. So if you get there, we won't do it right at the beginning because we'll let people join in, but probably get to that after a few minutes and do a drawing. And we'll probably draw 2 or 3 people. I haven't decided on how many. It might depend on how many entries we have. But we'll do a few giveaways, 2 or 3 maybe. So maybe we'll just spread it out throughout the live show, and have like giveaways at different points in the show. So be on the lookout for that. So next week we're going to do giveaways as a thank you, because you're tired.
No, I'm just counting.
As a thank you, because you guys have helped so much. I actually had one person, I'm trying to remember who it was, commented on our giveaway video already. She goes and comments, I'm assuming it's a she, I probably shouldn't do that, but comments that she always gives, shares our videos every time we post them. She shares them anyway. I was like, well, if you share them now, then you might get something back from it. So that was fun. catching up on many channels today. Yes, life happens sometimes. Um,
Yeah, well, that was the
yeah,
newest one. Yeah.
absolutely. So yeah, check out that video. That just went up this morning. Um, and hopefully we'll get a lot of people entering and we'll be able to give a lot of pasta and some books. And if you are gluten free and end up winning, then we'll just give you the vegetable gardening book instead of the pasta.
Pasta wise, the flour is organic. Most of it, we have a few with egg or different things in them, but the vast majority are without eggs, so they're vegan. So
Yeah.
it meets, unless you have a wheat issue, it should, or you are diabetic and really need a very low carb diet,
Yeah.
it should be tolerable for most people.
Yes.
And if
So
not, we'll figure it out.
if not, then we might substitute the book in for
Yeah,
somebody.
we can switch it
Yeah.
up and do something.
Yeah, so absolutely, you guys. I want to thank you guys for helping us reach our 1,000 subscribers. That was just awesome. And thank you, Finite World. Yes, if you could do a thumbs up on the way out, it definitely helps our analytics so we can, get our videos out to more people. That would be awesome. So thank you guys. We're gonna say good night because I think we're past
Yep,
over our
we're a little
time
over time.
now. But we will definitely see you next week, 9 p.m. Eastern time for same time, same day on next Sunday for our big giveaway. Join in so we can have multiple winners.
Good night.
Good night, you guys.